Good afternoon, everybody. So, let us start our lecture this afternoon. And today is March 16th, right? And according to our schedule, so next lecture time, March 18, will be your test 2. Okay, so as usual, so the test 2 will be in D2L section. So in your D2L, log into your D2L, and then if you go to your course and then go to quizzes, and then you will see your test 2. Yeah, this is test 2, but it will be available on March 18 at 3 p.m. So it will be open available 30 minutes before our lecture time, and it will end 30 minutes. It will be closed for starting after 30 minutes of our lecture time ends. So you have to start within this time. And even if you start at 5 p.m., you can continue a test. The test will be an hour. Okay, and one thing that actually there was missing in my D2L, but I added this. So here in the test preparation, there is a new module added in D2L. You see the test preparation. It has all test list of topics. So in the for future test, you will be able to see like test 3 topics and test 4 topics. I may not announce it or send it in D2L. Okay, so it's available here. Okay, and as usual, before you take the test, make sure that you have good internet connection and stable internet connection. You can come to this classroom to take the test, or you can take it from home. Okay, or any place that you have quiet and good internet connection. Okay, so this is a requirement of this course, that you need to have a webcam and good internet connection in order to take the online test. Okay, and as usual, before you take the test, make sure that you download the respondents lockdown browser. So complete this quiz. It is a very simple one. It will help you to download, guide you to download the lockdown browser app, and then before you take the test, as soon as you start your test, your lockdown browser, if you install it, then it will be started automatically. But if you do not install lockdown browser, it will not work. Your test, you cannot start the test. So make sure that you install this lockdown browser correctly. Okay. And in case you need any help, please contact UITS. I cannot help you for to install lockdown browser. I cannot help you. In case you need help, you need to contact UIT. Okay, IT help desk, and so you should try it during office time, during their office time, and during this time they are busy. So please do it during office time, daytime. Better you can reach them. Okay. And as usual, your test 2 will be an hour duration. I got a few students, maybe 2 students email from SDS for extended hours. Okay, so if you receive an email from SDS for your extended time, please send me or forward me, and I will double check that I did this. But in case I forget, please remind me. Okay. Okay, anything else? Okay, another thing is that your test 1 grades are published in D2L, in Gradescope, not here in D2L. It will be imported here later after the. So if you have any question or concern about your test 1 grade, yeah, you need to go to Gradescope and then open your test, and then whatever you have regret request, submit regret request individually for each of the questions. For one question, if you have multiple concerns, then you can write together. For 2 questions, you have to submit 2 regret requests. So all questions are not graded by a single professor. Okay, that I graded only one question and another person graded another question. So if someone submit a regret request for my question, I will get that regret request. I will review that. But please make sure that before you submit your regret request, if you submit your regret request, your entire question will be graded freshly. In case sometime that I usually do, sometimes if there are multiple mistakes, I catch one and I forgive another one. But whenever you do regret request, I will catch everything. So for me, I usually take time to grade, and then I have a few cases only that I mistake in grading, less than 1%. And it may happen as a human being, right? I have to grade like more than 1,000 student submissions. In 1321, there are more than 1,000 students. And 1322, we have about 500 students. Okay, so there is a 3-day period regret request time. Maybe that will be ended tomorrow. Please make sure that you submit your regret request soon. Okay, so as according to our right, so your test 2 will cover mainly looping, control statement like if, else if, and then switch case statement. Okay, and then while loop, do while loop, for loop. Okay, one-dimensional array, declaring an array, assigning values to array element to an array. Whatever, if you are given, so make sure that in your test you will be asked to give a specific name of your array. So gives exactly same name. And if you are asked to give a size, for instance, 1 million, give 1 million. For instance, when you give size of 1 million, for instance, if you declare an array and if you want to give its size 1 million, so then how do we write 1 million? For instance, integer array, for instance, I can say int x, this is an array. Okay, actually this will come forward before this. And my array name is x equal to, for instance, new int 1 million, right? So 1 million is written 1, then after 60. You do not need to use comma. You cannot use comma within the number, right? So you cannot say x equal to 1,000. You cannot give comma. You cannot use comma. Right? You understand that, right? You can give semicolon, but you cannot give comma over here. So anyway, semicolon. Make sure that you do not use this. Okay. And then whenever you are given an array, so use the array name. If you are instructed, then you will be asked to assign value for array name. You can use while loop, right? While loop, for loop to continue. Like for instance, for can int I, this is for index, equal to 0 to I less than 1,000, whatever is the 1,000 or 1 million. Okay, then I plus, and then you can say over here the like enter array element I, right? You can give a print command over here, and then you can give an value over here. So this is for input operation, right? And then likely you can do so this is a prompt, and then you will have input operation over here, input operation. And then similarly you can do input operation operation, and you can do any kind of operation. You can add elements, right? You can print them, and then whenever we discuss search operation, right? Searching algorithm, we discuss how to find the largest element or maximum value, minimum value, right? Or how to find a specific value, how to check whether a value exists or does not exist. If it exists, then how many times it exists, right? I discussed that in a live program. Please go to that lecture video, and if you need to recap that, okay? And similarly, we can use while loop or for loop to do array operation. Please practice both while loop and for loop for array operation. In class, actually, usually we do for loop. We use for loop for accessing array elements, but you can do everything you can do with for loop, you can do with while loop, and vice versa. Make sure that you understand. And make sure that you understand the difference between do while and while loop. Yes. No, you will not have access to replit, and the test is completely closed book. And then, so for the during your test, you have to keep your eyes open just on the monitor. So please do not look here and there. And before you start your test, make sure that you go to restroom. And during your time, you do not go over there, okay? So actually, is not only me. There is a team. They monitor the test. And then system, the lockdown browser itself monitors. If in a few seconds, even in 1 second, if you look back, it will give you a flag. I don't like any of my students that everybody is trying, everybody is doing hard job, right? Hard work, right? To do well in this course. I don't believe that there is any student that took this course for nothing. Everybody wants to do well in this course, right? So whenever you take the test, I like you will be compensated accurately. I don't like that you will be penalized for something silly mistake. Okay. Okay, and then we discussed sorting algorithms, right? How many sorting algorithms we discussed? 3 sorting algorithms. Make sure that you don't need to memorize the code, but make sure that if you get code, then if you get some code, you understand that this is this kind of sorting algorithm, right? For instance, if you if you see an animal, if an animal is shown to you, right? If you see a picture of animal, you understand this is a tiger, or this is a lion, or this is a monkey. Okay, at least you need to understand, right? That you need to recognize that this algorithm is for that sorting algorithms. And maybe there will be a few lines of code missing, and you will be asked to write to make up those few lines of codes. Okay, for the sorting algorithms, you do not need to write the entire sorting algorithm, but for instance, the sorting algorithms, there are 2 for loops, right? One is outer for loop and another is inner for loop. For instance, if you are missing the for loop statements, so if you are asked to write the for loop statements, what will be in the for loop? Okay, and there are also another one, swapping, exchanging values, right? You may be asked to complete the exchanging part, swapping. Okay, only a few lines of code you have to write, but there's a huge point, like 25 points for 5 lines, of course. Okay. Yes, you have a question? Okay. Okay, another thing is that this course is really face-to-face course. So hopefully after our test 2, we will have a few lectures, maybe 10 lectures, and we will be meeting here face-to-face. So everybody please come in face-to-face, and I may not be allowed to do like live broadcasting of my lecture and do uploading my lecture video. I wish I could, okay? But if I am not allowed, please excuse me and please come to lecture. Like every professor, I like that my classroom will be full and it will be interactive. Sometimes I saw only a few students over here. Okay. I did not feel interest. Only if I see there are only a few students. Okay, so has anyone any question about test, upcoming test? People who are joining online, has anyone any question? Okay, so make sure that you understand while loop, do while loop, difference between while loop and do while loop and for loop. And make sure that if you can do something using while loop, you can convert this within for loop. And you can do something in while loop, in for loop, and you can do that thing in to while loop. And I gave you some homework. For instance, right? Sorry. Okay, one thing will be also method chapter. Okay, so you will be asked to write a method name. For instance, if I am asked to write a method, power method. So for instance, I can say int power int x int y. So I can say return. So here type is, you can say public or cannot say is okay. So what is this int means? That means this is return type, right? That means this power function will return an integer value. So it can return an integer value. You can return 0, you can return 10, you can return 100, 1000. No matter, everything is an integer number. Right? Okay, but we don't intend to return 0 or 10 or 100 because that is a fixed value. For instance, we want to return something here like x, for instance, my first value, to the power y. You understand, to the power y? That means x to the power y. For instance, if you call this function like power 2 and 3, so that will return you 2 to the power 3. That means 2 times 2 times 2 equal to 8, right? Okay, so return the x times that, or you can like this. Okay, x power y. So then how can we do this? So we need to say, instead of this, we can say here instead of x power y, we can say here maybe result. We can say result. It return result. Okay, so then we need on variable integer result equal to initially. So here we are multiplying, right? In case we are multiplying, so then our initial value must be initialized with 1. So for multiplication, a result or a value must be initialized by 1. For addition, we need to initialize by 0, right? Because 0 is the additive identity, right? 1 is the multiplicative identity. For any number, if you multiply by 1, same thing, right? For any number, if you add 0 with that, the result is same thing. So 0 is the additive identity and 1 is the multiplicative identity. So in your program, if it requires to multiply, to submit the multiplication result, then you need to initialize whatever you say your variable name. That doesn't matter, but it matters. It matters that you must be initialized by 1. Otherwise, you will see that you will not be able to get answer. So how can we solve these problems? For instance, how can we solve this? Yes. Yes, we need a for loop. So you can say for what I want to do. So this is the index variable or for loop, int I equal to what? Okay, for now let us 0 to I less than 1 y. Okay.
Hello?
Yes. Yes, I can hear you. Okay, so for this case, I here equal to 0 will not work. So if you multiply by results, so for instance, if you say, what is the next line? Let me try. Result equal to result times x. So what is our initial result value? 1. And then is it x over here? Okay. So that how many times it will go? 1, 2. Yes, it will work. 0 to y it will work, but I personally like it to make I equal to 1 to less or equal to y. Okay, so from 1 to y, less or equal to y. Okay, and then result equal to result times x. Okay, I thought you would say I. Okay, so then okay, yes. So then return result. Return result. Okay, so a few lines of code. So, but there is nothing to memorize. You need to understand how it is going on. Okay. Has anyone any question?
So this is binary search, right?
No, this is not searching algorithm. This is a method. We're writing a method that will take two integer values, and we will return another integer value. The return value will be the power of first number raised by y, right? How do we say in English? That means if x and y, two variables, so then if x equal to 2 and y equal to 3, then it will return 2 to the power 3. That means 2 is multiplied 3 times. 2 times 2 times 2, that will be result will be 8. Yes. This one. Okay, for instance, so int power function int x int y. So what x and y are called over here? These are called arguments, right? Right. So then this is the end of the method, and with return, it will return something like x to the power y. Something it will return x. How do we write to the power y? Star star. Okay. So we need a variable result. So that is an integer type equal to initialized by 1. And then we need a for loop. For int for loop, we need index variable. Say I equal to 1 to I less or equal to What is my value? I is equal to y times. Okay, I plus plus, and also make sure that you understand the difference between I plus plus and plus plus I. There is no difference here. And then what do you need to do? Result equal to result times, we can say this result equal to result times, what is this? X. Okay, and this can be written as like same thing, result equal to result times X, and this is shortcut way, this is shortcut way, and this is okay. And then return, what will be my return value? So this function returns an integer type value, so I can return any value. You can return 0, 1, 10. Your program will run, it will not give you any complaint or error message or warning message, but the result will not be accurate. Okay, so what we want to return over here? Return result. That's it. This is the power method. Okay. Okay.
So in the main method, how would you?
Okay, I need to close this method. Okay. Yeah.
In the main method or on your program, how would you access that result?
So for instance, in this case, if you are not asked to write the main method, you don't need to. Okay, for the main method, for instance, I have main method. Do I need to write everything? So here public, you want to write public or not? So public static void main, right? You have public static void main args, right? Oh, string args. I'm writing in Java format, okay? String ar. This is array ar. I'm sorry. Okay. So just call this method like power and pass value for x and y. So if you say 5, 3, that's it. And then this is the end of the method. Then this program will return sorry. So this will return 5 to the power 3, right? So what will return? It will return you 5, sorry. It will return you 5 times 5 times 5 equal to 125. This is the function call, okay? We don't need. So this is the function declaration. Yeah.
You use that hour later on to say that how you're going to.
I don't understand.
So it says that, so it says that it's basically 1.5 in the main method.
Yeah. So main method, if you print this value, it will. If you print this, then it will print 125 for this. Okay. So So I added an extra lecture from my previous semester in the function and method chapter, okay? In previous 2 lectures, so please go watch those lecture video. There are two lectures maybe for function, okay? I was able to discuss one lecture here and then I added one previous semester lecture. Please make sure that you understand correctly, okay? Okay, then you should be good. And then understand that sorting algorithm. Oh, and another thing is that for sorting process, if you are given a set of numbers, okay, if you are given a set of numbers and then you are asked to sort the numbers, okay, in a specific algorithm, then after each iteration, what will be the state of the value? For instance, if you have number 25, 7, 3, 2, 27. So if we apply any sorting algorithms, so what is the after first iteration? Okay, so what will be the value after first iteration? What will be the value arrangement after second iteration? What will be the value after third iterations? Or what will be the value after fourth iteration? Or show, you don't need to describe, you just need to show what will be the arrangement in each iteration. Okay, I think then it should be good. Has anyone any question? Yes. Method 1 should be in the test. Let me see. Unit 1 to 5. Okay. Unit 1 to 5. Now 5 is not method, right? Okay, let us double check. Give me 1 second, please. I sent you an announcement. So you see the list of topics.
You got questions in the meeting chat.
Yeah, so this class is one face-to-face class mainly, okay? And I don't have time to go to chat window. Please, if you have any question, please tell me, ask me, okay?
Can you go over nested loops, please?
Okay, so if and then, okay, switch case, make sure that you understand switch case and then you understand the missing break and the effect of break, okay? If there is a missing break, what happens, the result, you understand that. Nested structure, loop, do while and for loop, nested loops, and initializing traversing. Oh, method is not here. Okay, method is not here. Okay, and then, but you understand the sorting process, okay, and the searching. Okay, nested loop, that means whenever you have a loop within another loop, that is called nested loop, and you need to use nested loop for sure when you do sorting operation. All sorting operations that we are discussing here will use nested loop. Okay, so if we go to any of our sorting algorithms, so here is there is nested loop here. So I see if within for loop. This is not nested loop. Okay, so there is only one for loop, and within for loop this is if condition. Is single for. Okay, but in case if we have a for loop or a while loop within a for loop or a for loop within a while loop, there are three looping we discuss mainly, right? Looping statements: do, while, and for loop. If you find any two of them inside another one, then that is a nested loop, or any more than two. It may have more than three. It can have three or more than three. So here, is this a nested loop? Is there a nested loop here?
No.
No, because only one while loop, right? And within while loop, there is a if condition. If within if or else, we are not considering this as a nested loop. If we have if within if, then we say nested if. Okay, nested loop means whenever you have a for loop or while loop or do while within another do while or for loop, then we say that that is called nested loop. For instance, here, so you see that within one phase, we need to do other steps. So this means this first phase will come in the outer for loop, and then this other phase will become inner for loop. So let us see some codes over here. Okay, so here, is there any nested loop here? Starting from here. Yes, right? So I have one for loop within another for loop. This is inner for loop, right? So within inner for loop there is if. So I wish in a code that you can, for make sure that you understand, you give curly brace. Okay, so if you give curly brace, that you understand this is the starting of this. So this is the outer for loop and this inner for loop. The inner for loop has another if condition. Okay, and then totally over here we will see that there is a nested loop. Similarly here in this code snippet, although in pseudocode, is there any nested loop here? You see? Yes, right? So here, is there any nested loop here? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So you have a for loop and you have a while loop. So I said either for, a for within a for, either while within a while, or within a for, within do while. There are three looping statements, right? For loop, do while, and while. So whenever you see like either while or do while within a for loop, they are nested. Okay. It's not necessary that all of the things will be for loop. It's not necessary that here all of these things are for loop. Like this is a for loop and this is for loop, but this is misleading maybe. And then we discussed that. So everything you can do with while loop, you can do with for loop. So you can try to convert this code with for loop. Okay. So this is nested loop, while loop, and then while loop is inside the for loop. Okay, I have 30 more minutes, and let me see what is scheduled today to discuss. So we are scheduled to discuss string operation, and then I have to go quickly because our next lecture time will be test time. I will not be coming here class time. Okay, you can come in or you can not come in. You can take from anywhere test. So in our next lecture we will miss the next lecture, And after the test, please do not miss any lecture. The 3 weeks we will discuss object-oriented programming foundation, introduction to object-oriented programming. Okay, that will be a new paradigm or new interest in programming. Nobody please miss this module 7. Okay, then you will learn something new and interesting. Okay, so let us quickly discuss string methods. So what is a string? Has anyone any idea what is a string?
Complex data type.
Is a complex data type, then what else? Okay, what else? A string. So in general, in English, what is a string? Is a thread, kind of thread, right? Or we can say it's a thread, or it may be a chain, like the chain also, a small chain also can be a string, right? So here we can say in English, like it is a string. This is a string, this is a string, right? Okay, so here you see that for this one, for chain, obviously we can see that each of the, what are this called, circular ring are attached to with another one, right? So obviously we can see that, but here we know, if you understand physics, in physics we see that every empty particles are joined together, right? So there are also like invisible joining over there, we don't see that. Okay, so that means what is think the joining are together, combined, some combined stuffs, right? So string is some combined elements, right? Some elements, same kind of elements or similar kind of elements are combined. Okay, so in array also. Okay, so string in programming languages or everything, all programs that handle, we use that do some kind of string operations. So here you see the file menu, this menu bar, right? File, edit, view, history, all of these are string. So whenever, okay, especially characters, it can be character or alphanumeric character, alphabet or character. Whenever there are some characters, okay, so written like in a sentence or a word in English. Okay, how do we write a sentence in English? A combination of some words, right? So we can say this is a sentence, or you can say a string. This is a string. Okay, so in older languages, what a string was declared as a character type array. So all of these, you understand array, right? Array is a data type that it has some similar data value one after another. And here there is a space, here there is a space, there is space. Space also is data. So, but modern programming languages have a type, built-in data type that is called string. In Java, S is in string. We can say S is in uppercase. String, I can say S equal to. This is a string, and then usually all strings are put in double quote. This is called string literal. Whenever string value, this is called string value or string literal. Even we say hello world, right? We started our program with hello world, right? So in Java, we say string is in uppercase, but in C sharp, so S is in lowercase. It can be in uppercase also. String, so I can give any name. Hello HL equal to hello world. So as a variable, we end with semicolon, so we are giving semicolon. And this hello world is a string literal. Actually, whenever it's a string literal, whenever you see something enclosed with double quote, that is a string literal, string value. What is the variable over here? HL is a variable over here, HL. So this is a string, here S is a string variable, here L. So all programs, almost all programs deal with some kind of strings. Okay, so string operation is important, and for while dealing with string, we need to do some string operation. For instance, for a simple string like hello world, we may need to count how many characters are there. How many characters are there? This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This space is also 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right? So that this is called length of the string. There are 11 characters over here, including spacebar. Spacebar is also a character. So sometimes we may need to count what is the length of the string, right? And then sometime we may need to reverse a string. You may need to display a string like this way, DL ROW OLLEH. So this is the opposite of the first string, right? Hello world opposite of in reverse order. Sometimes we may need this. Sometimes we may need a space to check whether a specific character exists in a string or not. For instance, we want to see how many times O exists. The letter O exists over here, right? 2 times, right? Here and here. 2 times. We want to check whether there is an uppercase or capital O over here or not. Right? And there are many kind of operation. For string operation, for all of this kind of operation, you may declare your own method or function that ultimately you need to understand. For your interview question, you will be asked to write a method for doing string operation. Write your own method. Okay. But there are some, in modern programming languages, there are some built-in methods that we can use to do string operations, the operations that are frequently done on string. For instance, to count how many characters are there, whether there is a specific character exist or not. Okay, you know, why if you want to reverse a string, display in opposite order. Or if you want to get part of a string, that is called substring. If you want to compare two strings, whether two strings are same or not. Okay, so these kind of operations are called string operations, and you will see in our program we do string operation a lot. So in this section we will see downloading this. Oh, sorry. Method and data passing. Did I discuss this on method and data passing? Okay, today at the beginning we discussed method of data passing. Also, I added a lecture video on previous section. Okay, please have a look at that. So today we have to, this week we have to the string operations. Okay, so there are, I was talking that there are some built-in methods. If a method is built-in, that is sometimes we call library method or built-in method. So how those methods are used, we need to know their format and the rule how to use it. Okay, the uses. So for instance, these are the method. Okay, one more thing is that. So there are these built-in methods are different language to language. So we are discussing here 3 different languages, right? C#, C++, and Java. So these methods are so like these are the C# and C++. Okay, there is another language is called C, although we are not discussing this in this course. Okay, so these methods are both for C and C++. C language is a subset of C++ language. Okay, so you see that for C language, all of the methods start with lowercase. Method will start with lowercase. So the programming languages we are discussing here are case sensitive, right? So uppercase and lowercase vary. So make sure that you write is in lowercase. Okay. We're coming here. We're coming in there. Okay. So these are the methods for let us understand this method, whether this method is Java method or C# method. Okay. So for instance, all of this either Java or C++. But in C#, most all methods, there are methods that start with uppercase letter. How do we know that this is a method or not? If after a name, we discuss that if there is a pair of parentheses, then that is a method, right? So here after length, there is no parentheses. So this length is not a method. It is something else. It is called attribute. Okay, but length here is a method. Okay, and this length is a method. And so you see that Java and C#, this has length method. Same, right? Okay, but this length method is used to find the length of the string. So here the string literal is hello world with exclamation and comma. So how many characters are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and including space 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, including the exclamation sign. So this will return 13. Okay, and this will return 13, and also this will return 13 if there's. You see that same method, purpose is same, but language to language they are different. And there is no shortcut remedy. You need to be familiar with this. Okay, there is no technique that I can tell you that this method is for this, but you will be familiar with. Okay, okay, that is the equal. So length method is used to find the length or how many characters are there, including space in a string. Then there are some other methods like equal method or equality method. You see that make sure that you see the equals, plural equal, okay, not equals. This method is used to compare whether two strings are same or not, exactly same or not. So how do we compare two strings? They compare character by character. So this first character will be compared with the first character of this. Then these are same, and this second character will be compared with this second character. So until BO, all of the same. But here there is no third character over here, but there is third character over here. Okay. So these are not equal, right? So sometimes here this equals method in Java and in C# you see that E is in uppercase. Make sure that in Java, in C#, all methods start with an uppercase letter. But in Java and C#, and C++, they are lowercase letter. So here, this equals method, it returns true value if the two strings are exactly same. Otherwise, they return false value. So here, in this case, what will be our result? Here they will compare, but we have an if condition. If S1 dot equals and S2. So what is dot over here? This is called dot operator. In our next week you will understand what is dot operator. Dot is an operator over here, okay? That in object-oriented programming context. Okay, so we will understand dot operator in our next week after our test. Okay, so just for now, so remember that. So in your test, this test one, you will not get question from this string operation, but in test 3 you will get. Okay, if they are not equal, then it will return false, and same thing in C#, but C++ does not have the equals method. It has another relatively same method that is called compare method. Compares, it not plural. Okay, and then this compare method, it returns a different value. It returns 0. This equals method returns either true or false, but this compares method return either 0, 1 or -1. If the two strings are same, then they return 0. If the first string is larger than the second string, then that will return 1. If the first string is lower than the second string, smaller than, then it will return -1. Okay. So I have a few more minutes. I need to go to this slide. So you can just read the book or do a Google search for in detail. Okay. For this method. Okay. There is another method in Java that is called character add. Character add method is used to find a character at a specific position. So character add, this one, that means what is the second value in this string. So we know that an array with index start with index 0, right? The first character has index, follows the in array. So string is a character array, like in C++ and in some languages, and a string is declared as a character type array, but now in modern C++ language there is a string type, built-in string type, so you can use that. So here in all languages this string is used as a character type array. So the first character has index 0, second character has index 1. So what will be the character at index 1? The character at index 1 equal to E, not H. Why it is not H? Because the index start with 0. Everybody remember this? Array and in string index start with 0. Okay. Okay. Then similarly here in sorry, my microphone does not have power. It's gone. Okay, so you see that so in Java has character add method, but in C++ and C# does not have character add method. So or it is used like normal array operation, array type. So with index. So this is why, so you understand that now really you understand that this my string is an array. So that array, how do we index, how do we access the first element, the second element with index 1, right? third elements with index 2, fourth elements with index 3, right? So index 1, that means the second element. So this is the, if you say first element, this is on first element, and you can say second element. This is a confusing, right? So we are saying 1, that means we start, this is 1, this is 0, and this is 1. Don't be misled, please, okay? And also in C++, we do not have character at method, but comparatively we use this. And you see the character at A is in uppercase. Okay. Then there is another method, is called substring method. Okay, in Java it's called substring, and in C# it is called substring. S is in uppercase. The substring method is used to create part of a string or the entire string. It can be an entire string or it can be part of a string. So here it will be here. So 7 to 10. Okay. So here it will start with characters at 7, index at 7. What is 7 character? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 7 is W. Characters it will go 7 up to 10 is 10 excluded, not 10. 7, this is 8, sorry, this is 8, this is 9. Okay, so 7 and 10 is excluded. It will not get 10 character because 7 to 10. So what even you can remember the other way that you say starting from 7, 10 minus 7 equal to 3, right? So starting from 7 and then there will be 3 characters. In your test, you will be given a string and then you will be given some statement like this, and you will be asked to write the output. You have to write the output exactly. If you do a single mistake, even one character off or off, you will not get point, even in your quiz. Okay. So here, if you even write W or L, you're incorrect. Understand? Okay. So make sure that you understand that there are 2 versions of substring methods. One, you can have 2 arguments, and in another one, you can have 1 argument. So if you have only 1 argument, that means 0. That means it start with 0 characters and then it will go all the way in. And if you say 1, then it will start with second character, it will go all the way in. Okay, so what is about here? It is 7, 10. Okay. And you see in C++, the method is called substr. It is not string, an entire string. Okay. So for the substring method, it is critical. There is a difference between C# and Java substring method. If the first index does not start with 0, there is a difference between this method. Here, what does C# does? It starts with the 7th character, with index 7, and it goes next 3 characters. I like this method better. So it is clear that starting with the 7, index 7, and it will go next 3 characters. So starting with 7 character is index 7W, and you will go next to 1, 2, 3. But here it's just 10, but 10 is not included. So sometimes it's confusing in Java. I don't have any way to teach this, but you need to remember this. Okay. Okay, and then string concatenation. That is an important thing. I think we have this in the letter, but it is an important thing. Okay, string concatenation means adding to string. So string we cannot add, means it is not it's actually combining two string. Okay, sometimes we make our full name by our we concatenate our first name, then give a space, right? Then give a middle name, then give a space, then add our concatenate our last name, right? So then we get our full name, right? So string concatenation means so adding one string after another string. So here, so the my string in my str is hello, and then your string is world. You see that there is a space before world w, and then if you concatenate this is the sign is used arithmetic plus sign, but this actually does not do the plus operation. It does not do the arithmetic operation, arithmetic plus. It does string concatenation. So it is a good thing that we can use the plus operator, like we use plus operator to add two numeric numbers, right? But here this plus operator is used to concatenate or to add join two strings. Okay, but like concatenation, there is no multiplication sign for string. You cannot multiply two strings. Okay, you cannot use star or you cannot use divide. Only the plus sign is used to concatenate in most of the programming languages. Modern programming languages, plus sign is used to concatenate the two string. And in Java and C# and most languages, there is a method also. It's called string concatenate or something, concat or some methods also. Let me see if I find. If I find something. Okay. I have a few more minutes actually. I don't have time. Okay. And then another method is replace method. The name infers that it replaces hello by it replaces this first string by the second string. In a file, if you want to replace in a data file, if you replace like hello by Bob, then it will do. It's okay. So instead of here, all will be replaced by Bob. Okay, and then Java has replace method and C# has replaced, but R is in uppercase. Okay. So here in C++, replace method is different. It's a little bit difficult. You see that what it does, it s1 dot replace. It takes the string s1 and replaces the character starting from 7 index 7, the next three characters, okay, 7,3, and replaces by what? By s2. So better, this one is better. Replace method in Java and C# is better, easy to use, okay, but it's difficult in C++. And don't worry, you will be used to. Whenever you do programming, you will be used to in using this. Although I'm going very fast because I discuss the test to review. Okay, the contains method, as it implies that contains method, it returns a true or false value. It says that whether a string exists within another string. If it exists, then in Java and C# it returns a true value. Okay. And okay, also and in C#, if it does not contain, then it returns a false value. But in C++, there is no contains method. It has another related method, similar method called find. Okay, if within string s1, if s2 is found, then it does something. Okay. And you see there are some examples, programs over here. So I like you to practice these programs. Okay, these programs are written over here. So just copy and go to this code snippet and go and practice this programming. Okay. So there are few 2 or 3 programs over here. Okay. And then there are also one more thing. Give me one more extra minute, please. So there are some built-in method like for mathematical operations for most languages. Okay, like absolute method is used to get the absolute value, always positive value. Square root method. Okay, mean method, ceiling, floor method, power method, sine method, cosine method. These are built-in methods. Okay. And then for Java, we need to call math is a package. Okay, math is a class, math.abs, absolute method, and you see that in language to language their implementation is different. Okay, so please make sure that you understand this, and in C++ and C# and Java, and please practice this. Okay, the last few programs, please practice this. Okay, and I may add another lecture from my previous semester's video that I discussed all of this more detail. Today's lecture I spent half of the lecture time to review our test 2. Okay, so I have to go this quickly. So has anyone any question so far? Okay, please practice this. Okay, practice this program, and if you need any help, please let me know. Okay, has anyone any question? People who are online? Okay.
Yeah, Professor.
Yes.
Do you think there's any way to delay the exam since
No.
it's so so soon after the break?
No. So this schedule was posted at the beginning of the semester. So so there are 10 sections. Okay, about 10 sections, 7-8 section. I cannot individually do that. I don't have any way. We teach in a team. I cannot do that. I'm sorry.
I got a quick question for you.
1 second, please. Okay, has anyone any question? Okay, thank you. So after the test, please come to face-to-face lecture. Okay, and I will see you then. Bye bye.